So I'm gonna bury you right here. But you'll be dead before Stevie pulls your teeth.
Accurate. He says, all right, take his teeth out. Back in those days, they didn't have DNA. They would identify bodies by dental records. My name is Mark Silverman, and I was involved in organized crime with the Italians and the Irish. Today, we're gonna be looking at some Irish mob movie scenes, and we're gonna judge how real they are.
What do you get, your period?
One thing about bars too is you always know who's coming in and out. So you have a good idea if there's strangers in there or if there's something that doesn't look right. You can really find out if somebody's there to infiltrate the bar or cause trouble.
Are you still a cop? No! No!
That's a great scene. I could tell you one thing, and it struck me right away when I saw the movie for the first time. The state police are not going to try to put one of their own inside of a crew, especially a dangerous crew. That's why they recruit informants or top echelon informants, because the informants can walk the walk and talk the talk. And I have never really seen an undercover police officer inside of a crew. A lot of people used to say, well, you know, I know that guy's a cop because of his shoes. I would say, you don't think that they know what shoes to wear and what not to wear? You know, yeah, always looking over your shoulder for that, you know. I saw a cop when I came in here, when I was pulling into the parking lot. I didn't miss that. But these days, I don't have to worry about it. Guys on the street like me that are looking at it saying, wow, that's pretty good.
School's out.
Thank you, Frank.
Police corruption back in the 80s and the 90s was rampant. Whitey Bulger certainly wasn't the only guy that had the inside track with some of the departments, whether they be local or state or federal. Other guys, I mean, you're not going to survive on the street if you don't have friends within law enforcement. And back then, you know, police didn't really make as much money as they did today, and they were much more easily corrupted. As we moved on to the 2000s, I think that they got a little more stringent. You know, they wanted to eradicate organized crime. They wanted to just put that final nail in the coffin, which they claim to have done several times.
We're not even supposed to be doing this. This close to Worcester. This side of Worcester.
Says who?
Says him, says Costello.
This is very accurate, so they're obviously nervous. It's all about territory. If you're dealing drugs, doing any type of business in somebody else's territory, you are absolutely open to discipline. However that discipline is carried out, it depends on the severity of the action. Like if you look at like Medford, you know, Somerville, you know, Winter Hill, South Boston, you know who's who and you know where you should be doing things and where you shouldn't. Because if you don't, someone will get your attention one way or another and you probably won't like it, but that's what happens. You know, he's got some real good scenes in there and good storyline. So, yeah, I'd say it's pretty accurate. I'd give it a 7.
Listen, just wanted to stop by and tell you myself.
Is that the zip code for South Boston?
No, it's Charlestown. Everybody has the fighting Irish guy usually like on their calf. You know what I mean? And you know, it's not really like a requirement or anything. It's just that they're proud. I mean, and they should be. They're always going to honor and respect it where they come from.
I think my guys can handle it without me. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't hire them without you. And I wouldn't hire you without them. You're a unit.
Everybody in the crew has a role. Part of his crew is the bank robbery crew. He's not going to put Joe Flipper on it. You know, he's not going to do that. He's not going to hire one without the other. They're going to do it together. They do it right. They do it well. They keep the money flowing. The Irish Mafia, I mean, they're loosely knit crews, you know, that don't necessarily follow the pyramid of the structure of power that the Italians have. You have your bookies, you have your drug dealers, you have your hijackers. Everybody has a role. But the earner, the guy that's filling the pockets of the higher-ups, is the most important guy in that crew.
Just out of respect, smooth things over. Let's take this part, all right?
Not gonna cut it. You're gonna do what I ask.
Yeah, he doesn't want his money. You know, he's much more valuable to him continuing to make money. You know, your earners, you will do anything to keep them earning for you because they're hard to find. Believe me when I tell you. You know, there's a lot of knuckleheads out there that you put them on the street, you know, they last about a week. It's like, in reality too, it's the old timers that really have the juice. I always respected the old timers more than anything because these guys have more wisdom in their pinky finger than the guys that are young. That's a nine.